Good afternoon. Those are two tough talkers to follow up. I'm looking at the time here, so what do I got, about 15 minutes? Okay, so I'll move along pretty quickly here. My talk is going to focus a little bit on some of the more academic reasons why we focus on IOT convergence. So in what seems to be another lifetime to me, I formerly spent 10 years in the IT space before I moved on to Schneider Electric and I started working in the OT space. It's at that time actually that I met my wife, who had spent her whole career in IT. So I bring a whole new meaning to the phrase IOT convergence. Yes, you can insert your Mars and Venus jokes here. So, perfect. We'll talk a little bit about what the market drivers are for IOT convergence. We'll talk about some of the guiding principles that are driving IOT convergence, and then the value and how we can get to that value. So the market drivers. What's behind the desire, the need to converge IOT? Well, there's a few things. There's many things, actually. I'm just going to pick on a couple of them here. Critical infrastructure. So many of us in here work in critical infrastructure. The interconnected industrial business that's cyber resilient. This is one of the most complex and critical problems of industry today. U.S. Policy Directive 21 from President Obama states that the energy and communication infrastructures are two of the most critical infrastructures in the world today. Actually, it lists at least, the policy directive lists at least 16 different sectors, but these are two that all the other infrastructures rely on. At the same time, IoT and IIoT dominate conversations. We've heard it all week. Talk about IoT and IIoT and what it means to us. Things connected to things, producing new opportunities. We saw some great examples from Jeff and Hugh here about how they're using connectedness to drive their businesses. The speed of industrial business continues to increase. With opportunities, this is newly invigorated connectedness brings things like IIoT. We must now react faster in a safe and secure manner. It's at the edge of this faster pace that the cultural differences between IT professionals and OT professionals can emerge. Technology, we knew that technology would be part of this conversation, of course. We've seen it a couple of times today already. Technology will continue to drive this new and unique opportunity. So we all know about Moore's Law, we've heard about it, all of our careers. Generalized today, it's the observation that the rate of computational power in an integrated circuit doubles every 2 years. It actually still continues in a different form, but that's a generalized form. Now Metcalfe's law, maybe we're not quite as familiar with, but this is the value of a network. This states that the value of a network is the square of its connections. So where do we know about this? Where do we hear about Metcalfe's law? This is the community value of a network. The value of a network grows as the square number of its users increases. So we see this. We see this in Facebook as an incredibly valuable network. We see it in LinkedIn. Moore's law, used in conjunction with Metcalfe's law, can be used to explain the apparently never-ending wave of information technology coming towards us. As these laws continue to play out, so does the technology that drives towards us. I should have mentioned that it's also, coupled that computational power with analytics, we see big data as a major player in the need to drive these forces. Okay, so 4 ideas, actually 3 ideas and a measurement. Technology enables new opportunities. So what you see here is a comparison of an actual plant compared to the ISA 95 model. As I'm sure many of you have, I cut my teeth on the ISA 95 model. This isn't to say that the ISA 95 model is wrong. ISA 95 model is absolutely proven to be very useful, and clearly it's not incorrect. But what we're finding is as plants optimize themselves, perhaps ISA 95 model doesn't exactly match. So if we take like a simple example, the pace of an upgrade and evolution in the IT world can overwhelm the OT world. What's available today are enterprise IT principles applied to OT space. Patch management in the enterprise IT space, as a simple example, is a relatively straightforward task. We all have our own devices, we all patch them. In the IT space, this is a regular occurrence. In the OT space, this is a disruptive action. I think I heard a couple of references to not bumping your process, to not driving your process into the ground. Trust me, we understand, we hear. And this is one of those things that in the IT space, this is very straightforward, but in the OT space, it doesn't quite match. These barriers are coming down though. Patch servers are now available, patch services are available, online upgrade is now feasible, and within reach. Online upgrade of a running plant was talked about here today. That was great. I was skipping that slide. I don't know what appeared. So control extended to the management domain. Let's keep a simple equation in mind. Materials plus equipment plus energy plus instruction equals finished product. It's just a simple equation. This is your profit equation. You put these things in, and if you're running a proper business, you're going to get profit out. Business management side, though, the side where the IT side of the business exists, the decisions they make typically are on the daily, weekly, monthly. They're driven by finances. They're fairly transactional, and it's too late often in a real-time plant to look towards the operational side and try to make a change. So what do? So on the operations side, the decision making to impact the results is more real time. This is where the real time decisions are made on running the plant, but perhaps they're not as aware back at that equation of the finished product profitability. Are they consuming materials at a proper rate? Can you adjust those material consumption? Ultimately, IT and OT are working for the same cause, of course. And it's that reliability of the system to continue to perform its job. They're both working towards the profitability of their organization. However, with IT and OT, cultures differ. They differ in mission, and they differ in how they see the business. Let's talk a little bit about the increasing speed of the business. So we saw some really good examples of making some business level decisions, improving how they're improving the operations of the plant. So in the 90s, we were about profit management. We were about maintenance of the plant. We were about environmental impact and environmental management. That was at that transactional IT level. And down at control level, the real-time level, what we knew was safety control, what we knew was process control. But as we're moving towards the future here, it's enterprise resource planning and reporting at that transactional level. So planning for the future, scaling up plants, scaling up resources, scaling up people, scaling up skills and equipment. And in the real time, what we're looking to control is profit, reliability, environmental risk, safety, security. Cybersecurity is an important thing that we need to control in real time in the world that we live in now. So the problem is, as we can see in this picture here, see if I have laser working, on the operational side, we know we have the enterprise management reaching through production, real-time control. We know we have a pretty good loop going here. But what the problem is on the CIO side, on the business side, trying to make decisions about what's going on in the real-time side, they have the financial reporting connection, but there's this measurement back, there's this gap here. This is where we've seen some excellent examples of how you're solving that problem. Hugh, I thought that was excellent. I'm impressed. Forward. So what's the solution? The solution, obviously, is to close that vacuum, is to bring real-time accounting to the rest of the business, to let the rest of the business participate in what's going on the operations side of the business. I have all these notes, and I want to make sure I miss anything. So back to that equation that we talked about a little bit ago. Sorry, I removed this slide too. That equation I talked about a minute ago. It's about the energy coming in, the materials coming in, going into your plant, running through your process, and getting production value out. But as we look at this graphically, now we're trying to bring the business measurement in there. So KPIs, the ability to measure what's going on with your business, and empowering the process to make some of these decisions at the business level, empowering the business to make decisions about what's going on the operations side. It's really about connecting these two sides of the business, driving them together so that you can drive, you can go back real quick here. Maybe I'm going back too far. So we can drive those aspects of the business. I'm not gonna keep going all the way back. But drive those aspects of the business around safety, around cybersecurity, around profitability, around reliability. Allow that business side to participate in those decisions. In the interest of time, I'm just going to skip along here. Okay, so on the value delivered. So what do we have? We have the objectives of the business is to improve our operational profitability, improve our efficiency, improve our reliability. They're constrained by things that they need to control, environmental risk. They're constrained by safety risk. These are prerequisites for the operation. And then they're constrained by security risks, a reality of the world that we live in today. Measurable business value improvement. So real-time profitability control. These are the things that we're trying to improve upon. Real-time safety and environmental risk. These are the controls that this convergence is going to help us improve upon. And then real-time reliability. We lost a slide here. Do we change the slide decks? Because it seems like there'd be no. Okay. Okay. So what can we do today? We can acknowledge that there's differences in our missions. We can leverage people, process, and technology. We can eliminate the silos in the business. By acknowledging that there's a difference in the common mission, the finished products, the services, identify that IT sees the whole business, OT sees the operational side of the business. Understand that the mission from an IT standpoint is confidentiality, integrity, availability. This is a cybersecurity term we talk about that's referred to often as CIA, whereas the OT side of the business care about the availability of the system before they care about confidentiality. They care about integrity, they care about confidentiality, but it's primarily they care about the availability of the system. Leveraging people. Convergence is forcing us out of our silos to find better ways to partner, to share data, to partner with other users in other parts of the business, even sharing physical networks. I don't want to plug a cable in that old nest that you had there, Hugh. This is a new paradigm. From tightly controlled silos we've grown used to engagement across the business with common goals. How do we get these silos of people to work together to interoperate? We use the cementing infrastructures like standards, architectures, common cybersecurity solutions, and common interoperable technology. These are the things that IT brings to OT, and OT can teach IT about. And that's it. And since it seems like I lost a little bit of my slides here, I just want to thank Mentor Graphics for supporting me here. One of the things that we do is we use the Mentor Graphics Nucleus operating system, in a number of our devices. So we talked about RTUs, we talked about PLCs, and it's enabling technologies like what Mentor Graphics produces here that really are taking us forward in this convergence. They're creating this technology that is desirable in all parts of the business and really helping enable this convergence. So, thank you.